What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, coming at you with an all-new Dauntless video. But first, if you enjoy quality gaming content or informational videos like the one I'm posting today, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. That being said, in today's video, I wanted to do a deep dive on the recent Dauntless AMA that went down on Reddit. Not only did we get a updated post on the 1.7.x roadmap, but the developers over at Phoenix Labs answered a lot of the community's questions, and I wanted to go over all the answers that they got to those questions. So let's jump right in. So first things first is we have the new 1.7.x roadmap, and here is what it looks like. For July 8th, which is next Thursday at reset, we're getting Omni cells finally, Heroic, Shock, and Blaze escalation, a new Galvanized cell, which I will go into more depth. Someone asked a question about it down in the AMA. They have some cell balancing that they're redoing, the Wild Thunder Hunt Pass, and the Reward Cache refresh. Coming July 22nd, 1.7.1 should drop, and that will include Thunderdeep Drask as well as the Drask event, Thunderdeep Drask weapons and armor, rumors from Thunderdeep Drask, new quests, Heroic Umbral, and Terra escalations are going to be included, and then go on to 1.7.2, which will have the Heroic Frost escalation included, random escalation queues being added, and the bounty bonus event. Moving on to August 26th, we should be getting 1.7.3 that has new Omni cells, the Repeaters refresh, the Ostian Wilds Hunting Grounds, and the Ostigard Justice Hunt Pass. And then last but not least, rounding out at the beginning of September, we have 1.7.4, which is going to introduce the new Behemoth as well as the new Behemoth event and gear. So big updates coming, and a lot of these people ask questions about in the AMA. So let's jump right into that. So right out the gate, I'll just go through here, and if any of the questions speak to me here, I'll throw out the answers. Considering Thunderdeep Drask is getting its own weapons and armor, is there a chance we will see this for other dire or above level behemoths? I believe it's been discussed, no firm plan, but we would love to see this happen. So who knows, maybe we'll get some dire behemoth or variation behemoth type gear down the road. Are there plans for new exotic weapons? It's been talked about. The first step, however, is the return and balance of OG exotics. We're still figuring out where exotics sit, but they're still exciting to us, so we should probably get some in the future, but it's not necessarily on the menu right now. Moving on, when will guilds get some love? Larger member capacity, guild name displayed alongside player titles in the Trials leaderboards, etc. Their answer was, we know that our social features need some love. This is something we've talked about as a lot as of late. We really want to return to all social features and improve the experience in the near future. I know they had the emote wheel update coming soon, so there is some things in the works for the social updates. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long for those. Up next, we got our friendly neighborhood Captain Maelstrom. Looks like he asked a question. Will the random escalation queue that they pointed out in the new roadmap give extra rewards like sparks or extra XP like patrols used to give the extra Arkstone? And their response was, it hasn't been locked in, but right now, no. They're just randomized, so you don't have to think about which one you're doing. Just click and go. So as you saw, we are getting a randomized escalation queue. So if you have trouble deciding, if you're indecisive about your escalation runs, that is going to be a new feature in like the second or third upcoming patch to make things a little bit more easy when it comes to selecting your event that you want to do. New Reforged borders. Like Obsidian, for example, for reforging 75 or above to like 100. That is a good question. I'll bring it up with the team so the devs do know about it. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some new reforged borders here soon. Can any of you give a vague description of the Ostian Wilds? Could be a few words, could be a sentence. Their answer was, at the environmental art team, we describe it as Ostian Experimental Weapon Facility, but it's also a lot more than that, as we'll reveal later. There is some more questions about that later on. They give a little bit more of a hint to it down below. Is there any chance you could reveal the element of the new behemoth? This has kind of been teased a little bit, and I think they go over this in their answer. We've left some hints and clues here and there. Any way you look at it, it's going to be spicy. If you remember from my previous video, when I did the roadmap update, they had a little teaser image of like a bunch of burning flames. So I have a feeling, and it pretty much may or may not be confirmed at this point, that it's most likely going to be a blaze behemoth. So keep an eye out for that. I am not sure if you're aware, but the Tragic Echo item ability, which I'm sure you guys have all started to grind for, and I put that video out for the quest on how to get the Jesus, what is it called? The in-game items in the hunting grounds that unlock the exotic quest lines within Ramsgate. The ability can only be triggered once, if you guys may or may not have noticed. So they're wondering if that's going to be adjusted. Their response was, we're looking at adding a refresh mechanic to this. Not sure if it's going to be cooldown based or something else, but it should be within the next few patches. So it does look like we're going to be getting a cooldown timer on that exotic ability for the Tragic Echo for when you die and you come back to life. So that's pretty good. Will Keystones be receiving a variant for the Heroic Escalation? Heroic Keystone Behemoths come with some altered moves and new mechanics, making them a true heroic experience. Expect to be thrown for a loop with tweaks and adjustments to their original behaviors to keep you on your toes. So not necessarily like new moves, but the mechanics are going to be a little bit different, and the moves may be altered in some way to change things up a little bit during the harder fights. Moving on, are the Thunderdeep Drask weapons and armor going to be their own sets, or are they new skins? They're off. They say they're their own thing completely. So the Thunderdeep Drask is actually going to get its entirely unique own weapon and armor set. So that's pretty cool. What ideas do you have for future Omnicells? This is sort of a big one. Lots of ideas are in the works, from Omnicells based on the Faction of the Past and the Faction of the Future abilities, to one about Umbral Corruption that bleeds the Slayer for power. So it's going to be like an alternative to Discipline, kind of like a high risk, high reward. So that's pretty cool. Here's a big one. Is there any info we could get on the new Galvanized Cell? Now this is going to change a few things for some of my previous build videos I've made as well. So here's the new Galvanized Cell. It is a companion cell to Tenacious. They're going to be splitting it out into 2 cells now. So Tenacious will be retuned to focus on high health and bonus health builds for additional damage, while Galvanized will be tuned for high shield and Bastion Omnicell builds, generating bonus critical strike chance and damage. Because we're doing this split, they will be granting Galvanized cells equal to the Tenacious cells that players have already collected. So if you have a bunch of Tenacious cells, because of this change, you will be getting those new Galvanized cells for free, apparently. So that's pretty cool. And it's good to know that they are splitting that off. So we're going to have some new variation to the Tenacious cell in general. The roadmap lists each heroic escalation separately. Why? Looks like our friend Aurelia from the Discord answered this one. It's already been listed above, but the heroic escalations are going to be on a weekly rotation. Same elemental order as the original release. So Shock and Blaze are going to be first, followed by Umbral, Terra, and Frost, as you saw on the roadmap. So from patch to patch, we're going to start getting more of those heroic escalations unlocked. Here's another big one. Will there be some type of reward for completing the heroic escalations? And also, I hope everyone has had a great day. This is pretty cool. I actually didn't know this. The partners may or may not have, but I thought this was really cool. All my transmog and cosmetic buffs are going to be excited about this one. The heroic escalations come with a weekly reward, including a pile of exploration and combat merits, as well as a stack of rams, a nice chunk of Aether Sparks, and lastly, exclusive to the heroic escalation, they're going to come with a new heroic merit, which can be used to purchase elemental crowns in the Slayer's Path, themed after each of the 5 Keystone Behemoths. So all of the Malkirian, Agris, the Urska, they're all going to have their own unique elemental themed crown that we're going to be able to unlock for defeating them within the heroic escalation. So that's pretty cool. I'm always down for new cosmetics. Moving on, there's 2 heroic escalations being released. That's kind of a repeat. It's because they're going to be staggered. This one goes over, they're asking, have there been any plans for Shock Eska changes, such as Shock Behemoth variants or an island reskin? Their answer, Lots of questions here. To pick a few, Shock Escalation won't be seeing new variants or island reskins, though the Heroic Shock features some new mechanics for Valkyrian, obviously because it's going to be harder, and the Thunderdeep Drask will be joining the Escalation pool a few weeks after launch, so that's pretty cool. We're going to get a new Behemoth variation, the Thunderdeep Drask, which is a classic. That's going to be added to the rotation for the Shock Heroic Escalation, so that's pretty cool. Moving on. This guy asks about the different roadmap cells that they listed. The third patch in 1.7.3 mentioned that it'd be plural, multiple Omni cells. My guess is that one of them is probably going to be the Wind Fury one, because they did say they were going to stagger those. But this particular dev, Aurelia, again, actually says that it's mostly going to be another risk-reward cell, similar to the same playstyle with Discipline. So my guess is sort of like the vampire one that I read earlier, kind of bleeds the Slayer to gain more damage. So that's pretty cool. Any clue on the potential next weapon that will release? Highly teased, known to be the bow. I've talked about this in previous ones, but they actually shed some light on this. Nothing's being worked on right now. We actually experimented with the bow at one point, but ended up dropping it in favor for other features. As soon as we choose one, we'll let you know. So there you go. The bow is actually not guaranteed anymore. It could be something completely different. Who knows? But that is temporarily scrapped for the time being. And honestly, they've gone over in the past that they plan on reworking all of the OG weapons first before they release any new weapons. So it's going to be a while before we see any new type of weapon anyways. So don't get too excited. Probably been asked a million times, but will the keyboard and mouse support for console be in the future? No plans at this time. That's just a random Slayer's Path question. We don't have any plan for this season. We want to get the Omni cells rolling out. We may return to seasonal trees in the future. That's regarding the Faction of the Past and the Faction of the Future abilities. This has been talked about in previous videos. Those are going away. Those were just seasonal abilities, and there won't be a new one of those in this new coming update. But like you saw in the previous answers, they are potentially going to be bringing those faction abilities back in the form of an Omni cell potentially. So that would be kind of cool. Kind of pay homage to it and bring those back into the game because they were kind of fun. What else we got here? Another heroic escalation question and the rewards. This one was actually kind of cool. The concise question: are there any plans to add more evergreen value to escalations? The wordy background: escalations have a ton of value while leveling, but it quickly begins to feel tedious when you reach max rank. This makes sense. There's not much of a grind. Personally, I love the escalations, but once you've unlocked everything, there's not too much incentive to do it anymore. But here, Aurelia gives us another really good answer here. We'd really like to add a meta progression system similar to the escalation lantern trees at the terminal, but for escalation mode overall. What it would look like, we're still discussing. We wanted to have heroic escalation out and live before we think about that more. We're also hoping sometime soon after the launch of heroic escalation to get a heroic plus system implemented, allowing players to push their heroic escalation difficulty higher and higher for prestige and personal challenge. When we get through our first full heroic rotation, and we can properly say more about the future escalations down the road. So pretty interesting stuff there. That would be kind of cool to have just an overall progression system for escalations in general as a overall mode, not just from escalation to escalation. It'd be kind of cool to have some buffs or something at a broader spectrum that you could unlock. So that'd be kind of neat. How will we be getting chronostones now that the paths are being taken out? The Elder and Primal Behemoths will still exist on the Paradox breaks, so you can farm them there to still get your stones. They'll drop them. You just won't have those faction abilities anymore to help you out. The weekly rewards, we've already went over that. With the heroic escalation coming and a new electrifying Drask on the way, will the Shock Behemoths be reworked during or before these times? Or better question, will Stormclaw be reworked during or before these times? We're not doing a full rework for Stormclaw for this one, but some of the Shock Behemoths are getting some love. So they did mention this in a previous announcement. I think it was in the roadmap, actually, they updated it, that with the new Thunderdeep Drask, they are going to be doing some minor tweaks and polishing to the already known Shock Behemoths, so that's kind of cool. Moving on, they're just talking about the Trinity of Hunting Grounds escalation and trials. This guy asked if they're going to be getting a red crown for like top 5 rewards and stuff like that. They kind of dodged it a little bit, not too much information about that right now. Let's see here, anything else? Portals are on hold indefinitely. Pets are not being currently worked on, but they're still in the backlog. Personally, I'd love to see this become a reality. Winding down towards the end here. What was the season you were most excited about, and why is it the Ostian season? I know I've talked about it. I'm a huge fan of the lore behind Ostian, the Ostian faction. But this guy, Helizard, honestly, I bet this is a question each of us could answer with something totally different. But for me, it comes down to finally introducing and expanding on the lore that's been simmering, and as it were, for a long time. Ostia has been a constant background presence in the game since its inception, and got a huge lore boost back when Zai was introduced with Koshai. We've even been supplementing the details with a few particularly Ostian Hunt Pass themed stuff over the years, like the Seismic and Zypher Strike, but we've never seen a piece of Ostia itself until now. So as we heard from the answer in the previous one, they're calling it like the Ostian weapons facility, science facility type of thing. Eddie, who is a Phoenix Labs environment artist, also chimed in, said, I'm so excited for it. In my opinion, the environment work in it are the favorite that he's seen so far. They look hot. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about what it's going to look like. It's going to be pretty cool, I have a feeling. When will we be getting a tease for the next Hunt Pass? They're going to be showing images next week, closer to the reset, so get excited for that. Moving on. Are there any extra plans about the new behemoth, for example, element or level? For the element, there are some hints on the roadmap. Again, most likely going to be Blaze. For each season, we add items as we progress, and then we reset it at the end of the season. So reset in 1.7.0. This is talking about the reward cache items going away. So all the ones that are currently in there will be gone as of 1.7.0, but that starts a whole new reward cache, similar like it did in 1.5. And so for 2 whole rounds of patches leading up until 1.8, we're going to be getting double rewards again, but they're going to be all brand new items. So pretty cool there. And I think that was pretty much it. Yeah. So yeah, ton of really good questions this time around. And a lot of these I actually wasn't even aware of. I'll be honest with you, I've been sleeping a little bit on Dauntless. Again, we started the new job. I'm working on some really cool projects. So that's really been keeping me busy. But I wanted to chime in and see what new stuff we have to look forward to. And by the sounds of it, it's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to the heroic escalation themed crowns that are coming out, new random queues. So a lot of cool stuff that we have to look forward to. I'm really excited about the Ostian themed season coming up. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. If you found this video informative, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below. I appreciate your guys' feedback. And as always, if you're not already a member of the Glitch Gang, click those links down in the description below. We have hundreds of Slayers in there, always looking for new people to hunt with. So hopefully we see you around. But until the next time, you guys, I hope you had a great day. And we'll see you all later. Take care. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.